it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my full-on red holiday look for 2020. This was a bit of a challenge for me to put together a red look, fully on red, like monochromatic red, red eyes, red lips, reddish cheeks. I think this was even harder for me to put this together than the blue holiday look I just did. Just because, I don't know, I'm a little bit more limited on the red lips, and I don't really have red eyeshadow. I have forms of red, cranberry, orangish copper red, but not like a true red. So this is a red inspired video, let's just say that. And I'm using more warm tones and golden tones in this video, and I thought about using pretty much the same products on my face as I did in my blue winter wonderland look, but I thought, you know, that complexion is not really going to go with the red, so I'm totally changing it up. So I'm going to be filming my whole face, and we'll do some swatches, and then I will choose what I'm actually going to use. These videos are kind of fun, a little bit different, more of a challenge when you're like focusing on a certain color. I think that's not normally how we think about doing our makeup normally, but when you're trying to match to a specific outfit or a certain kind of look, it can be a little bit harder. So hopefully you guys don't put in that much time thinking about your makeup for a special occasion, but hey, you might want to. It is fun. So in terms of my outfit, I'm wearing a very casual red sweatshirt, but I wanted to stick with the theme. I'm wearing like all my red jewelry that I could find. I mean, it's not my favorite jewelry, but it's a dark red, and then I have like a gold bracelet that doesn't really go with this, but I wanted to be a little bit more blingy than normal. Put on a little ring here. I do have my ILNP Eclipse Hollow Polish. I'm going to be filming a separate video on this new multichrome black to red polish. It's very fun, very pretty in all different kinds of lighting. Let's start with the fragrance of the day, and really the fragrance of this red evening. And I could have gone a couple different ways with this, but when I think red, I think of like something really sweet and cherries and berries, and so I thought about also it being wintertime, and I think the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla is probably the most appropriate fragrance. I could have gone with Lost Cherry, but I actually just picked up the true Tom Ford Private Blend Lost Cherry formula, and I had the dupe from Perfume Parlor before. I'm going to do a separate video on the comparison of the real thing versus the dupe, so I don't want to ruin that. So we're going to do Tobacco Vanilla and spray this on. This is like a scent that like is really like sneaky. It starts out not really, it's smelling really like spicy, and then you can smell the vanilla later. I really like it. I really enjoy it, and I find that it lasts really long, like all day long. I don't have to reapply, and it's perfect for that wintry, brooding, spicy vibe, but it has some sweetness to it with the vanilla, but it's not like vanilla that smells like you're baking cookies. It's like a sexy vanilla. I don't know. I think it's really good, really nice. I recommend it. If you're unsure, get the smaller size. Alright, they have like a travel size, which is this size, and I definitely recommend getting any Tom Ford in that size if you're just trying it out. Alright, so let's get into the complexion. I'm going to put my hair up because I don't want anything in my hair. Yeah, this is way more jewelry than I would ever wear normally, but I'm doing it all for this special occasion. I do have some Christmas decorations down there. I put a little red tree in the background there, have a candle going. You just can't really see it from where I'm sitting, and I don't really decorate my bedroom just because I don't have a lot of space. Not a lot of wall space, furniture space. So it's not super festive in here. And I am turning red already. Okay. So let's start with primer. I have a new sample primer from Guerlain. This is the L'or. This is the gold primer. So I just opened it and it has little specks of gold in there. You can probably maybe can see it, but it's a clear primer. I think Tati used to use this. I think that's how I heard about it. It's been around, you know, a while. It's nothing new, but I just wanted to try it because I've never tried it before. But it feels very like thin, almost like a serum. It doesn't feel like silicone-y like the Smashbox clear one. This feels more like skincare. It feels nice. I don't know that it's necessary that we have gold in there because, I mean, I can't really see it and I'm gonna cover it up with makeup. But it feels good. It feels refreshing and hydrating. If you guys use that primer, let me know why you like it. Alright, so we're doing special occasion makeup, so we're going on the bougier end of everything. So I'm going to be using another expensive foundation than the first video, the blue video. We're doing the Sisley Fondant Anti-Age. This is the anti-aging foundation. And I'm going to be applying this with a sponge. Couple pumps there. I like this foundation. It's not like as good as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's cool. I don't think it's worth the whatever over 150 normally dollars that it is. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, it's nice, but I think you can get just as good a finish with other products. But I mean, if you're a devotee to Sisley, you'll enjoy it. If you appreciate Sisley, you'll enjoy it. But they have a lot of foundations. This is the first one I've tried, so there might be better ones that are like more impressive, but this one's pretty good. I think it's a flexible formula. I don't know that it particularly lasted like all day or anything like that on me. It doesn't promise that. But for someone that is moving away from mattes, I like the formula. I like that it doesn't dry down immediately when you put it on. It's also really helpful. I'm just going to be putting on a light layer if I was actually going to a event or a family gathering or whatever, or I'm just doing Zoom. I think for Zoom you can get away with a light layer. It's not going to matter too much, but if you're going to be somewhere for several hours, drinking, eating, you may want to do a couple layers just for insurance purposes. I used up all the foundation. I think this is a good, nice layer. I think the foundation worked well with the primer, no issues there. Concealer, my trusty Georgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I don't see a lot of people talking about this one anymore. I think there was a lot of good concealers out this year. Some people prefer the Pat McGrath. I have that one as well. It's definitely fuller coverage, it dries down a bit drier and more matte, more full coverage. But I like how easy this one blends out, and it just looks a little bit more natural for me, and I like that it's not super thick and full coverage. So that's just kind of what I have been preferring, especially if I'm doing a light layer of foundation. I don't like having the contrast between a full coverage concealer and then a thin layer of foundation. It looks funny to me. Okay, so you can see how fast that blends out. Some of you want to do more concealing than that, go ahead. I'm going to be using a brightening pen from Sisley as well. This is the Stilo Lumiere in number 1. Click pen, just a bit of a peach brightening pen. Just for a little extra brightness. Now I have way too much coming out. And blend it out with a sponge. If you have like super young under eyes, you probably could get away with just the under eye pen, the brightening pen, and not do concealer, but totally up to your preference. I like the combination of both. Alright, on to our creamy highlighter. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Label's all worn off. This is number 1. I want it to go a little bit more golden for my like liquid highlighting product rather than silver, just because I feel like it goes better with red. So a little bit more of a golden beigey highlight. It's not really a highlight, more of a glow product. It's a really subtle highlight, but it just adds that nice layer of dew. One of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury products. Alright, on to bronzer. I want to do a little bit of color. You could definitely, you know, it's winter time. There's no expectation of a healthy like bronze, but I like to fake it just because it adds some dimension to my round-ish face. So I'm going to be bougie and use my Chanel Beiges cream bronzer. I like to use my fingers, but if you want to, you know, a little bit more control, you can use a brush. But I just want a little bit of warmth, and because this bronzer is pretty warm, I like the tone of it even though it's warm. I think it's going to go well with our look. Just a little bit of rubbing on the forehead. This is a very creamy product that you just want to use a little bit in the areas that you want to look a little more sun-kissed. Does not need to go around your entire face. You can see I skipped a few areas. You can certainly take it down the neck a little more. But that's it for the cream bronzer. Now I want to go ahead and powder because I'm done with all my cream products, and I'm going to be using the Koh Gen Do. This is my Fanchi Natural Lighting Powder. This has a slight glow. I think it's not really noticeable, but it's not like super matte. It doesn't give you like a super matte finish, but if you apply enough you can get a matte finish. I mean, it's a powder. But I think it's nice. It's a little bit different than the, you know, Laura Mercier's that I'm used to. And it's not like totally my color. It doesn't, there's no options for colors. I think it could be a little bit lighter for me personally, and that's probably why I wouldn't repurchase it, because the color is a little dark. But I kind of like that it's not super matte finish. And I think that's perfect for a holiday look. You want a little bit different than your normal matte powder routine. So a little extra glow is perfect. And you don't have to hit up your whole face. Just want to skim those areas that we put cream on because I don't want them to move. I'm kind of using this to just lock everything in that we just applied. So not a whole lot that I applied, just a little layer. And then in terms of blush and highlighter, I'm kind of going back and forth between a few things. So for blush, I have the Chanel Rose Bronze, which is kind of a tawny, I don't know, rose color. It's not like super rosy. It's pretty, has a slight sheen to it. The other blush I'm thinking of comes from the Tom Ford Incandescent Skin Illuminating Powder Duo. And it's this red shade here that I have used for blush before, and it has way more of a sheen than the Chanel. But we're kind of looking at, I don't know, sort of similar tones. Maybe I can layer them. That might be a good idea. Drop that little brush there. And then in terms of highlighter, I have so many slightly gold options. So first, if I want to, I might use this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I might use the bronzer just to top off that cream. This also comes with like a golden highlight. I just don't think it's blingy enough for me. I could also use the highlight from this duo. And then the Guerlain Meteorites Pearl Dust Palette. This light gold would be pretty as well. I also have a Chanetcaille. This is like the Les Palettes, the sequin highlight that has gold and pink. The finish on this isn't super bright, so I don't think I'm going to use this one. And then, ooh, I might go in with the Guerlain, the gold, the very bright gold, just because we're doing it up special. So let's go ahead and go with the bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. And just kind of do a second layer, just for good measure. Who knows what's going to happen at this party, right? I'm not actually going anywhere. This is all for you guys, but the theoretical party I'm giving you inspiration for might get a little bit wild. So same areas that we put the cream, just putting that powder. You want to be careful with bronzer and that you really want to blend it out, especially in the winter, because you know, it's really obvious that we didn't go on a beach vacation. So while I'm all about faking that deeper complexion just because it gives your face some more dimension, gives my face more dimension that isn't really there, but faking up that bronze glow can be really obvious, especially during COVID when they know you haven't been on the beach in some warm tropical place. Blush. I'm gonna do first a little bit of the Chanel. So there's a slight sheen to this blush, which I wasn't expecting when I ordered it online. I order most of my makeup online, even before like the pandemic. So a lot of times things aren't quite as what I expect because I'm ordering everything online. I think that's nice. You could definitely like stop there with this blush. We're gonna go extra and we're gonna top it off with the Tom Ford. So I don't really know what this is supposed to be, if it's supposed to be truly a highlighting palette. I know this isn't really meant for my skin tone because it's a little bit darker, but I like to use it anyway because I don't care. But I use this red toned glowy thing as a blush and kind of a blush topper. I have noticed, I think it's because I touch my face throughout the day, that the sheen does wear off, and that might happen at your party, which is, you know, fine. You touch your face, but it just gives a gorgeous glow. Now if you have textured cheeks, you know, we all do. I have a bit of texture, but again, I don't really care if it highlights it. I enjoy the color of this, and it's different. I like that it's different. For sure. So I'm good with layering. I can see that I need to blend this out because it's a bit a bit much of a blush happening here. So taking a bigger brush to kind of blend all this together. Just look a little bit smoother and a little bit more toned down. Highlighter. I don't want to layer my highlighter because it can get real crazy real fast, so I'm just going to pick the one from Guerlain. This palette's really large. I wish it was a bit smaller because it's hard to store. I have to like put it on my counter. But this is a very versatile highlighting palette, and you can really mix them and it looks good. There are some palettes where you always have the option to mix, but in reality you never do because you don't think it looks good. Well, I think these colors actually look good mixed together and they work, especially these two for my skin tone, but the peach works as well. So I'm just gonna do the gold though. This really light gold, and just fan it on. And you can see how fast you can get a big impact. And it smells like the meteorites, like that violet scent. It's pretty strong. But amazing highlighting palette. Really glad I picked this up. Just a little bit in our highlight zone. Alright, lots of glow, golden glow going on. On to brows. Normally I would use like a brow gel, but I want to be a little bit more defined for our party look. So I'm using Chanetcaille's Brow Definer in Ash Blonde. This is a new product for me, so I'm still getting used to it. I have to be a little bit more precise in how I apply my brows with this. But that's kind of the whole point. But I can easily fill in my whole brow with this one product, which I really like. And it comes with a brush, spoolie brush, so you can blend this out when you're done. I imagine if you have fuller brows you can use a lot less. But I have always had sparse brows. Alright, before I go into the eyeshadow, I'm going to do my setting spray. And I'm using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Mist. I always forget to use the setting spray, to be honest. But this one's really lovely. I wish it's a little bit too fine in my opinion. I'm spraying a lot because like barely anything comes out. Like, it's good, it's just like a little whisper of water where it could be a little bit more coming out, but it's nice. Some people like fly through this. This is my first bottle and I've like barely used it. I don't know, I just forget about using setting spray when I'm done. Okay, on to the eyes. So I want to give you guys some swatches of ideas of where I want to go with this red look, because this could go a few different ways. I mean, so first I want to show you the Pat McGrath Mothership 4-5. I think this is 5, the Bronze Seduction one. And this red tone here, one of my favorite colors from this palette. I like it. It's not like a true red though, it's more of like a bronzy reddish tone. You can see like it's not your true red, but it is in that red family. If you get in the right light, like it can really look pretty red, right? Very pretty, very fiery. And if you probably were to get this wet, it would look even redder. It is truly like an amazing shade. Now to get into the palette that I probably will end up using a lot of shades from, this is the Dior Quint, and this is Rouge Trafalgar. This is number 879. Came out this year. This is the red palette. although it's not super red besides this shade right here. These are pretty peachy. Well, this is a little bit more pink and this is a brown. So I'm going to swatch the red in the middle. And it's kind of like a warm red, not like super, super red. But I think it gives us in that red inspiration zone. And then we can use some of this really smooth and soft peach along with it. We could probably get away with using all three of these colors together. That peach is not really swatching that well, but you get the idea, right? And then I kind of want to pair these with like something exciting. So I have some more options here. Let's go into everything. I have the Chanetcaille. I have the Crane single luminescent eyeshadow from Chanetcaille. I don't think I'm going to be using this because this is more of a maroon, purpley kind of thing and very more smoky. But you could fit it in there somehow, right? But not really our scene, but I wanted to add that. I also have a very safe kind of coppery, warmer shade. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Jewel Pot Walk of No Shame. Whoop. And I think this could bring some warm peachy goldness to this look, but not like super exciting. And it's not like super glittery or highlighty or anything like that. It's just a little bit of sparkle. And then the last powder eyeshadow I have is from Chaos Cosmetics. This is a shifty multichrome and this is Magma. And it has some red and orange and gold to it. And I just want to see how this plays with everybody. Ooh. I'm gonna have to use that. That's so pretty. Not a traditional shade. I mean, but I could see this going with the pat pretty well, or the Rouge Trafalgar shade here. These three gonna play nicely together. Then last but not least, I have a liquid red eyeshadow from Natasha Denota. This is the Liquid Chromium in Dogbane. And this is an interesting color as well. Woo. Very similar to Chaos, but a little bit different. I could see this working well as kind of a center shade. Just want you to see how that looks like sort of blended out. Yeah, see how it's kind of red there in this light, but then it does sort of shift to a green in that light. So fun times with the red holiday. See how this is a little bit hard for me. Ooh. And then I might pull from some of the gold in here as a topper inner corner. Just because I'm a fan of red and gold together. I think it makes a lot of sense. So, woo woo woo, lots of stuff. You know what, I'm gonna start with the Pat McGrath. Let's do it. We're gonna start with this one here and just put it on my lid, the whole lid, just to get sort of a base going down. This is a metallic. Yeah, so this is a metallic shade. If you're not like a super fan of metallics, this one is so easy, and you can really make it bold with a finger and just use the shade for your red look and be done. If you just want a one and done shade, it's like a fiery gold. That's a flattering, it's not going to make you look sick because it has some dimension to it. So if I use my ring finger right here, you can see how quickly that got real bold, right? Just a little bit of eyeliner, some lashes, and you're good. But we're gonna go beyond that and use some other shades as well, because this is an extra special holiday season, I think. Deserves an extra special eyeshadow. Alright, so with the Dior, that red shade in the middle, I'm going to be putting that underneath my eyes and my lower lash line, this guy right here. And hopefully I don't look too sick. Ooh, that is a look. So we're not done. But now you can see sort of how red is such a different and special shade, and how it can be a lot of fun, right? So I think next I'm gonna go in with the Chaos Cosmetics multichrome in Magma, and I'm gonna be using my finger and going in the center of my lid, and in this light I can see some purple in here, which is weird. Kind of makes things a little bit darker in the center here. Boy, did this get real dark real fast. Oh boy. Before I continue on, I want to do some blending to clean this up and see where we want to go next. I think I might want to frame all of this in a neutral brown that's warm. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good idea. I think this definitely looks better now that it's blended out, but I do want to have some sort of framing happening. So I'm going to go in with the brown from the Mothership palette here and just give a little bit of shape and have some contrast to all the red. Alright, we're a little bit more smoky. I think I need to do some cleanup. But I want to do, before I do up the highlights, I want to do the Natasha Denona Dog Vein underneath my eyes. Just because I want to give a little bit more dimension to the red under there. Just adds a little bit of interest underneath the eye as well. Alright, so I am wanting to go back into the Guerlain highlighter for my brown bone. Just because I think it's really light. I'm just going to help lighten things up there. Because I went a little heavy with the brown. This is a lot of eyeshadow. Definitely do whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just giving you some inspiration. Some of it might be inspiration for what not to do, because I think I took it a little bit too high, a little bit too much going on. Before I move on to eyeliner, I'm going to clean up with some powder because I have a little bit of shadow happening. I like to mention that to you guys because that's something probably most people wouldn't talk about. But I think it's important that you guys know that those steps are happening and that we don't get a perfect complexion underneath our eyes when we do our eye makeup. And sometimes we have to go back, redo our concealer a little bit, and redo our powder, just so we don't look totally smoky, because when you bring that smoke to the skin, it can make us look a little bit older and tired and not fresh, which is not really what we want. So sometimes that's why people do highlighter last, because they have to powder under their eyes again, and then you just want to make sure that highlighter stays gold. Alright, that looks a little bit better. A little bit more clean and bright. I just used the Koh Gen Do natural lighting powder again, just to get rid of that residual shadowing that I overdid. Sometimes when you're blending, especially with a large brush like this, it just goes out onto your skin. Okay guys, I'm ready for my inner corner. I'm gonna get this wet, and I'm using a Hydrate the Mist from Jordan Samuel. Wetting my brush, and I'm gonna go into this fun glittery topper shade right here in the gold. And I'm gonna go in the inner corner. You could definitely don't have to do this if you hate glitter. I totally understand. Because this is gonna have some fallout. If I was smart, I would have used the glitter glue thing that I have. This glitter primer from NYX. Using that setting spray to spray my brush, I could have just put the glitter primer and then put it on dry. But that is all I really want to do. I'm gonna put on mascara because I just, you could do like a gold liquid liner, you could do a maroon liner. I just think that's too much for me at the moment. So I'm going to go in with mascara, and I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. I think this mascara isn't for me, but I'm going to continue to try it out. Alright, mascara is on. I am very happy with this eye look. This is actually something I could see myself wearing to a party. I know that sounds like funny, like why would you show a look that you wouldn't actually wear? Well, this is supposed to be meant for inspiration, and I'm going a little bit wild with all these eyeshadows I'm applying. You definitely do not need to apply this many. As I said, you could do one red and be done. But I like the gold and reds and different tones of rust happening on my eye, and I like the pop of glitter in the inner corner. And I don't always like to use glitter, but I think holidays party is a perfect special occasion to use a gold glitter. I mean, what other time of year are you going to use it? I mean, there's a few times, but holiday especially, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I'm happy with no eyeliner. I think I have enough dimension going on. Now onto the lips. So I have a few options that I'm considering, not a lot of options because I don't wear red and I want to do full red. So I have the Nars Dolce Vita matte lip pencil, velvet matte lip pencil. So I'm going to swatch this one for y'all. I probably wouldn't do this red jewelry. I would use gold to go with my gold eyes. Anyways, here's the swatch for Dolce Vita. This is more of a red tone, like a warm tone, I mean red, and not a super bright red. So this is a shade that's like super wearable for me. I really like it, and it's a matte, but it's a soft matte. Like it's not drying. I have a liquid lip. I think this is what it's called. This is from Chanel, Soft Rose. It has a liquid lipstick, which is pretty dry, and then the lip gloss. And this is a rose tone. And I thought might go well with this look. Again, I don't have a lot of reds. This is my true red, and it's a warm red, which I'm not a fan of, but it's a liquid lipstick sample from Sigma. And if you're going like red, actually this doesn't look bad. That could be my other option. Oh, I never wear red. I'm considering between these two. I think for me, I'm gonna go with the Nars Dolce Vita. And I just think because my eye is a little bit more rusty, it goes a little bit better. If I was doing like a very smoky eye that was not red toned, I would go probably with a bolder lip. But I'm gonna do a lip liner. I'm using the Sisley Nude lip liner. And I don't really have a red lip liner that goes with this. But I'm not doing a lot of definition here, as you can see. So the lip liner is a little bit waxy, and I think that's affecting how this is applying. But you can see how easy and wearable this red is. You can certainly like top it off with a gloss, give it a little bit more of an impact. But I like this holiday look we got going here. Definitely liking it a lot. Do I want to do a glitter? I'm just looking at my lip gloss collection behind the camera here and seeing if I can eye anything out. I have a lot of like fun glittery stuff going on. This is very pink, but I just want the glitter from it. This is the Mcgrath Future Femme Lip Lust Gloss Lip Gloss. Ooh, this might be a mistake. There we go. I'm happy with that. Definitely not necessary, but it just makes things a little bit more full looking and reflective. If you have a red gloss or clear gloss with a little bit of glitter, that would work too. Our red holiday look inspiration. Let me guys know if you have any questions. Let's do another, just for fun, a little more setting spray. Just because I want to set my eyeshadow as well. It's not really a setting spray. It's more like melts into the skin spray. And if you have a lot of powder on your eyeshadow, you probably want to do it over your eyes as well. Just close your eyes. I'm really happy with this look. I'm ready to go out, even though I'm going to be going nowhere and taking this off. Let me know if you are into this look, if you like red, if you were to go to a holiday party, if you would consider a red eyeshadow look, or rust red inspired brick red. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Any questions, please comment below. Click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.